Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the God of the Bible, the Heavenly Father, the God of Israel, and Yahweh Shai being his only begotten Son. And double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching this word, this gospel in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. And you might see on the news this guy Donald Trump. We all know what he campaigned for. One of his campaign slogans was to make America great again, because he felt that America had fallen from their greatness in certain areas. The military, mainly the military, and the economy. So, the aim of Trump, according to his campaign, is to restore America's greatness in terms of their military and their economy. And it's fitting that that's really all they care about. The sword and money, which the scripture tells you that the love of money is the root of all evil. All right, and the scriptures tell you about the bloody and deceitful man. All right, and he that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. All right, but the one greatness that Trump doesn't want to address, which was from the very beginning of America's inception, was great and is great wickedness. All right, America is also great in wickedness, and that hasn't waned or been reduced in any way, shape, or form. In fact, they're only becoming greater in wickedness by every minute. All right, and he thinks that he's gonna restore the military and economic greatness of America. But what Trump and the rest of you people out here that don't understand, that are not in the know, that America has a destiny. All right, due to the great wickedness and by prophecy, America has a destiny to become a great desert. That's the greatness that's coming to America. America is going to become a great example unto the nations that afterward would dare to do ungodly. America is going to become a great desolation. 9.3 million square miles of complete desolation. All right, and I just want to bring out the word great. It means of an extent, amount, and intensity considerably above average. Yeah, that's America's wickedness. Of ability, quality, or eminence considerably above average. All right, so America's been great in wickedness, and that wickedness has never been addressed. They don't want to address that wickedness. All right, because it's a place that's not based upon the fear of the Lord. America is based upon pride. All right, and pride is the beginning of sin. And who hath it, they shall pour out abominations. And that's exactly what you see. So I'm going to get a precepts to back up my statement, man. Because America's nothing more than Babylon the Great. And desolation is going to come onto it. All right. Because America is modern day Babylon, mystery Babylon, which is spoken about in the book of Revelations. And these prophecies pertaining to Babylon really apply to America. So we read it, Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes. Now the spiritual representation of the Medes today is the Russians. And you see today, you see that directly after World War II, as the scripture saith, the second woe is past, and the third woe cometh quickly. The next world war was basically set up 2 years after, and that was the Cold War. And the Cold War was a war between the Soviet Union, which represents the Medes, and America, which is Babylon. And that war is now coming to the end of that war. And the end of that war is going to be great desolation especially for America. Their desolation is gonna be above average. Their desolation is gonna be the greatest of all the nations to suffer in these last days. It says, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Yeah, because usually a nation will go to war against another nation and conquer them, maybe enslave them for the purposes of monetary gain. They might take some slaves, spoil it, get some silver, some gold. All right. Now, in the ancient world, like in the ancient world, you get the instance where an invading army may be coming against you. And this used to happen, with these city-states. One city-state would come against another. And basically, you could pay off the invading army with gold and silver to appease them. And they might just leave you alone. If you give them enough gold and silver, they'll save the time and energy it takes to conquer you and just take the gold and silver and go home with the spoils. But this war that's coming with America and Russia, the Lord is going to put the spirit on the Medes where they're not going to take the Russians. The Lord's going to put the spirit on them to seek the complete destruction of America, man. All right, and they got the tools to do it. And that's why the scripture tells you man's goings is of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Because regardless of what, a man may think, the will of the Lord is going to be established. And it is the will of the Lord for this final war to take place and for the nations to become desolate, beginning with America. And you might have individuals out there seeking for peace and, they only want to go so far, but it's going to go as far as how far the Lord wants it to go. And because the Lord is ultimately in control. He ruleth in the kingdom of men. And these people are going to find out. You're going to have people on both sides who they don't really want to take it to that level, but it's going to go to that level. Because guess what? It's the will of the Lord. All right. So they ain't going to regard, the Russians are not going to regard silver as for gold. They shall not delight in it. All right. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and that represents the missiles. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, because ultimately, when them nuclear missiles, when you're launching nuclear missiles on a nation, you don't give a damn, because you're not trying to kill soldiers. Generally speaking, in war, two armies would usually fight. Two army, the soldiers would fight. Once the soldiers were defeated, or then the remainder of the people were, put under subjection or slavery or whatever the case may be. The women, the children, the other men that survived, whatever the case may be. All right. Now, obviously, you had instances in history, of course, where people would, go in there and start slaughtering up pregnant women and whatever the case may be. That has happened. But generally speaking, it would be the soldiers. When you're dropping nuclear weapons on a nation, man, that means everything there, you don't give a damn. You killing anything that's breathing. Dog, cat, puss, pregnant woman, elderly, it don't matter. That missile gonna clean everything out. Which, hey, it's gonna clean out all the wicked, no respecter of persons, man. All right, so the Russians ain't gonna consider, there's, like they always have to say, we don't have a problem with the American people, we got a problem with the American government. But them nuclear missiles are gonna wipe out the American people and the government. It says, their eyes shall not spare children, because there's gonna be a lot of dead children in America, man. There's gonna be a lot of dead children. All right. In fact, children make up the majority of the population. And Babylon, which is America. America is nothing more than Babylon the Great, the glory of kingdoms. Okay, they're supposed to be the chief of these nations. They're supposed to be great. The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. Now, the Chaldean today represents the so-called white man. The just as Babylon was the beauty of the Chaldean region, America is the beauty of all the Edomite nations. They all these Edomite nations, regardless of what they got to say, they all look up to America in its greatness. Shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's how we know that in the spirit, this wasn't speaking about ancient Babylon. Because ancient Babylon in Iraq wasn't overthrown as the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. We know it's talking about America, which it tells you in the book of Revelation that there would be a place that would be spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. That's America. America is spiritually Sodom, Egypt, and Babylon. And that's why it's going to be a great example. It's going to be an example over and above Sodom, over and above Egypt, because the Lord made an example of all these different kingdoms have been made an example of. Did not the Lord bring down the Babylonian Empire? Did he not punish Nebuchadnezzar? Had that dude eating grass like a cow on his hand, all fours for 7 years? So the Lord, these nations, these different kingdoms, they've already been made an example of. But America is going to be the ultimate example, the greatest example. All right? It shall never be inhabited, meaning no one's ever going to live. We're going to inhabit the earth. We're going to inhabit other planets, other regions. And that's as far as I'll go. I don't know to what end. The Most High is infinite, man. We don't know. There could be multiple universes for all we know. You know what I'm saying? There could be no end. We don't know. The kingdom of heaven is going to be forever. We don't know. So if it goes on forever in time, then who knows what's out there in terms of space? So, that's for the Lord to know. But for all eternity, that particular 9.3 million square kilometers is going to never be inhabited, because it's going to be there as an example onto the entire universe of what desolation the Lord can bring to a wicked nation. All right. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. All right, because the earth abideth forever, and the people of the earth, except for the Edomites, are going to be here forever, generation after generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. All right, these different nations, beginning with the so-called Arabs, go there and buy up stuff and open business. Neither shall the shepherds make their folds there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. So where these Edomites live today, eventually it's just going to be like owls. Owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. Owls, desert owls, and rattlesnakes, all the different creatures that live in desolate wildernesses. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. See, the scripture tells you that that beast, man, cometh out of the bottomless pit and goeth into perdition. That time is coming, man. Let's get Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And that's America, with their military and their butt buddies, their little mini-me's, NATO. They've been going around the world destroying. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And a judgment is going to come with fire. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner. Meaning what? In the ancient world, say like a army came and razed the city, you could take the stones from those raised buildings and reuse them to build new buildings. The elder Ramah was bringing a camp how they took stones from the Colosseum and the different things of Rome after Rome fell, and used them to rebuild other things. But when America's destroying, there ain't gonna be no stones to gather up, no bricks, no nothing to go gather up and recycle. Because it's gonna be completely destroyed with fire. As it is written, the element shall melt with fervent heat. You understand? It says, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. You understand? And you read down again, it goes into the Medes. All right? Let's get Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47. Oh, that's Jeremiah. Salakia. Isaiah 47. Let's read down from the top. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. You see, right now America is sitting in a chief place. But the Lord have pronounced that America sit on the ground, man, and there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, because America has been untouched by war, by desolation. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover thy thighs, pass over the rivers, thy nakedness, which represents their iniquity, their wickedness, which is being exposed on a daily basis, shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame, which the word shame goes into guilt, shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man, because Yahushua himself is going to return in the holy chariots, and he's also going to launch fire on America. As for our Redeemer, meaning the Redeemer of Israel, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent. What does that mean, to sit thou silent? Meaning you got these Edomites, they want to write articles, they want to these Christian apologists, they want to come up against us, debate us. At the end of the day, it no longer matters what you Edomites have to say. You know, like you're in a court and they got you banged to rights. They call it an open and shut case. When you go into the court system, and they got your fingerprints, they got you on CCTV, they just got you on 1,000 charges, man, like bang to rights, as they call it. Well, you think anything you say in that court is gonna change the fact that you're guilty? No, you sit down in silence, and that's America, and that's you Edomites. You ain't got a damn thing to say. You don't have no defense. You're through. You're all the way through. All right, you're done. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness. That's it. There's nothing you can say. You Edomites, beginning with America, you're going into darkness. The Lord's going to turn the lights out. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. And who's the Lord's people? The Israelites. Matthew 2 and 5. All right. I have polluted mine inheritance. All right, the Lord basically put his people in captivity in Babylon, and guess what? We became even more wicked, man, because America is nothing more than a wicked, demonic environment. America wasn't set up to edify our people. America was set up to destroy our people, man. Now the Lord is setting up the prophets in these last days, and we're learning the truth and becoming edified, and we're being edified through the proper understanding of our experience. But America itself, in terms of the media, it's all set up to destroy our people, and that's why our people are in a foul, disgusting, polluted, destroyed state, man, beyond all recognition. And give them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Thee ain't showed, you so-called white people, man, beginning with you American Edomites, didn't show our people no mercy. You used us and used us and used us to simply get what you wanted. And you thought that through all that wickedness you do, that the greatness that you achieved would be everlasting. No, the only greatness that's going to be everlasting is your desolation. And now says, I shall be a lady forever. Yeah? That's an American exceptionalism. So that thou didst not lay these things to heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. See, while you were whipping, selling us and buying us, selling us and whipping us and doing all this iniquity against our people from the very beginning, even unto this very day, the wickedness you do against our people, you never consider that, hold on, this evil, this iniquity that we're doing, These are the people of the Lord. Like, we're going to be judged for this. No, the only thing you're concerned about is your belly, your gain that you can get. Therefore, hear now this, that thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am. And if this don't represent the American sentiment, then I don't know what does. And none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, we got the greatest military on, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in perfection. Why? Because America is going to be completely destroyed. For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Yeah, these devils have trusted in their great evil and iniquity, and they're still doing that. Trump is wicked. All right, they're all wicked. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. All right, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom, because they're doing all kind of wickedness behind closed doors, and they do one thing and come out and say another. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it have perverted thee. Yeah, they really think they got a plan to get back on top. And now I said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. They don't recognize no one. These Edomites, beginning with America, don't recognize the Most High. They don't recognize nobody. They think they're the Most High. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, that thou shalt not know from whence it rises. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. That's that World War III. And and all that, everything else that comes with it. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail. Because America was built on witchcraft. Blood sacrifices. Even unto this very day, these sacrifices and this witchcraft continues, and all their major corporations and companies, they all commit blood sacrifices and have ancient idols and so forth in their logos. And you could go in for days, man. Starbucks and Apple has got they're supposed to represent the apple of reverencing the knowledge of Lucifer, which is the apple. Okay, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. Fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, neither shall not, and there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast laboured, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. Alright? See, America's gonna get it, man. Revelations 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. And that's America. Mystery Babylon is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That's America, man. Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations in the earth. And it's going to become a great desert. 9.3 million square kilometers of desert, of desolation. And it's going to be great. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.